Hi, and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video of the 7th episode of Season 1 of Babylon 5 called The War Prayer. Last time we saw the Psychop Chekhov, otherwise known as Bester, board the station, hunting for a very powerful psychic that the Psychops experimented on to boost his abilities. He became too powerful and eventually evolved into a being of pure energy. We also saw Commander Sinclair's planetary surveyor friend Catherine visit a distant planet, only to be visited by the ship of a race billions of years older than humans, according to Shakar. So let's see what happens in the next episode. I'm going to include any relevant trivia that I find up here, and I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1. Well, that looks safe. Nice dark corridor. You'd think they'd have sensors that the lights would come on if someone walked down.
Stay away from Earth, freak!
This is an outrage, Commander. An outrage. Shalmayan is regarded as a cultural treasure by my people.
She's pretty angry. Rightly so, but you don't see that very often. We haven't done.
Both Earth and Mars have had a rash of similar incidents.
Home Guard?
That brand is their calling card, and according to the latest security updates, their numbers are growing daily, along with a dozen or
Home
so
Guard.
other pro-Earth groups.
Pro-Earth. They're nothing but hate peddlers.
They're like an anti-alien group.
And this.
I mean, yeah, it's bad enough they stabbed her, but to brand her, that's horrible. That's just male and female symbol.
Been a long time.
It's been 8 years, Malcolm. I have to go. I have duties.
She does not seem happy to see him.
Ariatensis and my cousin Kieran Murray. They just arrived from Centauri Prime today.
There was a time when you and I would spend entire evenings
Ex-boyfriend? Doesn't seem like it.
when we weren't.
Oh, okay. Ex-boyfriend.
It's been 8 years. Let's take it slow, right?
Such a weird reaction. She couldn't wait to get away from him before, but same now, but she was smiling and laughing. Don't know. Odd.
We don't want to marry anyone else.
We want to marry each other. Love? What does love have to do with marriage? For 1,000 years, marriages have been arranged among our people.
So it's a standard thing
Marriages
in
which
Centauri.
meld the noble houses together. Sometimes these marriages call for sacrifice. Great sacrifice.
That implies he's not 100% happy in his marriage.
Shalmayan was attacked last night, and there's traces of fresh blood on your knife.
It's mine. I cut myself opening a crate.
Ever hear of the Home Guard?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, a very quick test would they could tell what blood it is. What species it is would take. Well, that would be quick. Yeah, learn specifically whose blood it is.
Book him for carrying a legal weapon. Run a DNA check on that blood.
Yeah.
There have been several recent attacks on non-humanoids. We are conducting a thorough investigation and hope to have it wrapped up soon.
Good.
Meanwhile, it might be helpful if you spoke with the other ambassadors.
That seemed to be all Earth history he was
We
watching.
take no interest
They were
in the
watching.
affairs of others.
Those are images from my world. If I may ask, what are you
I am studying.
studying? What? Ambassador?
But we take no interest in the affairs of others. Why send an ambassador there then, if they take no interest in the affairs of others? That was probably really expensive. I'm quite sure a rose would be expensive to get on the space station. Okay, now she seems happy. Very confused.
These are my 3 wives.
Oh, 3
Pestilence,
wives.
Famine, and death. Do you think I married them for their personalities? Their personalities
Lovely little
could
nicknames he
shatter
has.
entire planets. They inspired me. Knowing that they were waiting at home for me is what keeps me here, 75 light years away. If you need me, I'll be in the casino.
Image. Image is very powerful to the Centauri. He was getting all dressed up then to go to the casino.
I hear you have a suspect in the assault on my arm.
Had. DNA scan showed the blood on his knife was his own, just like he said. I could have held him on the weapon charge, but I think he'll be more useful to us running loose. He's a logical recruit for the Home Guard, meat-attracting maggots.
That's not a good place to have an anti-alien group on board a space station full of aliens.
The important thing is that we'll be together again.
Oh, once upon a time. 8 years is a long time to get to know each other again. Oh, some sort of cloaking technology.
We can no longer stand idly by as our peoples are slaughtered by these cowardly humans. We must fight back with every means at our disposal.
Fight who? You don't know who the attackers are.
Spare us your usual platitudes, Commander. You know very well why these crimes remain unsolved. It is because the perpetrators are human.
I'm surprised that Shakar thinks that. He knows them fairly well and knows that Sinclair's not like that. And Garibaldi.
Justice, you're about to get a first-hand taste of Jakar, starting with a charge of inciting to riot. Or you can go back to your quarters and we'll call it a misunderstanding. All right, moving on.
As an ambassador, though, does he have diplomatic immunity? I know he does it in his quarters, but when he's out of his quarters, can he be arrested?
Out of my way!
So it begins and escalates. They retaliate, and the human people will retaliate against for this attack, and on and on.
They won't let me be near him.
Of course not.
Why
Can you do
can't
something
you
about
go
it,
near
Ambassador?
him?
Go back to your suite and rest. There's nothing you can do.
He's in a coma, not like he's in isolation ward or anything. And they do say talking to someone in a coma can help.
All sentient beings are best defined by their capacity and their need for love.
And she will learn to live without it.
As you did.
Well, yeah, we saw a few episodes ago that he fell in love with Adira. So I think he would understand that.
You wanted to see me.
There are some of us who don't like what's happening here. Alien workers taking jobs from human beings, inhuman criminals, preying on decent people like yourself. We want
That's going to make things awkward.
And we think you can help us.
Exactly what is it you wanted me to do, Commander?
Introduce me. Tell him I'm not happy about all these aliens forcing themselves on Earth. Groups like this always like to recruit friends in high places.
That's a big thing to ask her to do. Use her relationship in that way.
On one condition.
Name it.
I want to be there when you take them down.
Okay, well, she seems to be all for it. She changed her feelings very quick. I'm finding her reactions very unusual in this episode.
Yes, what do you want?
To tell you something.
Well?
It's not a good idea for him to be on his own at the moment. The attack's going on.
You were wrong.
What?
My cousin and Arya wanted to be together because they love each other.
My shoes are too tight.
Excuse me?
Something my father said. I went into his room and he was sitting alone in the dark, crying. So I asked him what was wrong. And he said, my shoes are too tight. But it doesn't matter. Because I have forgotten how to dance. I never understood what that meant until now.
I assume he means that he's forgotten about love and how to love, and he's being all protecting the Centauri way of life and things because he's forgotten it, and now he's realised that actually love is important.
Wasn't a Centauri youth seriously injured just last night?
He'll recover.
Must be hard to be purposefully offensive like that and offhand.
They're nervous. I served on the line and we had a motto there. The only good alien is a dead alien.
That must be really hard to basically pretend to be racist.
And we won. Not because we outfought them. Not because we were luckier than them or stronger than them or smarter than them. We won because the damn Minbari let us win. You know what that victory tasted like? Ashes.
With that particular story, though, I do wonder if there's a hint of truth in that.
Get rid of alien influences. Get rid of aliens. Put Earth first.
Welcome back. How do you feel? Tired. Well, that'll pass. When you feel up to it, Mr.
You've been
Garibaldi
asleep
has
in a
questions
coma,
about people who
lazy
shot
thing.
you.
When you are old enough, and Dilla will give you permission to decide for yourselves whom you wish to marry.
Even if it's only for love?
If you insist. All right, enough. You two need to rest.
If you want to do a stupid thing like that, of course.
Why?
Because
My shoes are too
you
tight.
are still children, and children should be allowed to dance.
Where are the others?
Already here, Commander.
Oh, they're wearing those net cloaking devices.
Worth, activate the jammer. Alvarez on scan. Worth, is the jammer up?
Perimeter secured.
There.
Will you put that first?
There is. In 2 days' time, there'll be a mass assassination. The 4 major ambassadors stationed here.
Whoa.
Their deaths will be a signal to terminate the ambassadors on Earth. Get us into the ambassadorial wing and off the station undetected after we've finished.
Does he really think they'd do that?
problem.
That's a huge thing to ask.
Then there's just one more thing. Kill it.
No, please.
Again, on the first
please.
meeting,
Save
that's,
yourself. Honey, good alien's a dead one.
would he shoot Ivanova, and would Ivanova shoot him?
Give me an excuse when you're dead.
Answer that question. About time. Okay, so that's all
Such great hatred. for
taken
so
through
little
like that's where
real
everyone can
reason.
see them being arrested.
Seems incomprehensible to me.
Same here.
What kind of a human are you? Decide. Hey!
I found many of these people to be more human than you and your kind.
It's not about siding, he's talking about murdering people. And it starts with murder the aliens. Then what about the humans who go against that and support aliens? Do they then murder them? It just goes on and on and on. So that was the 7th episode, called The War Prayer. So that's the second time we've had something. This was obviously completely about it, but talked about humans pulling back to Earth, withdrawing from all the aliens, Earth first. So that seems to be a thread that's forming, and going forward that might be a thing. I've never understood racism and speciesism in this case. I just don't understand it. We're all here, we're all on the planet, we're all together. What? I just don't understand it. Yeah, I was really confused about Jakar in this one. I know he was angry that obviously people were being I'll use the word aliens for simplicity. Aliens were being attacked. But he was almost kind of blaming Sinclair and Garibaldi as head of security for looking the other way because they believed it was humans who did it. Not that I can think of any actual proof that it was. How do they know it was humans that did it? Okay. They did when they attacked Earth first, I think they said, or something. So, okay. But I would have thought Shakar would know Garibaldi and Sinclair enough by now to know they're not like that. We know that, and we've only watched them in 7 episodes. He's with them a lot. He's with them on the council. I mean, Sinclair's on the council. They interact all the time. He knows what he's like. So that was really weird. And I just found Ivanova's reactions to Malcolm really weird in this episode as well. I mean, when they first met, she was really defensive and, went away quickly. She did the same the second time, but was smiling a bit. And then immediately, really quickly seemed to be getting back into a relationship with him. And then she found out that watched that video of him talking to that guy in hospital about, anti-alien speech, and she was immediately, oh, I want to be there when you take him down. It was really odd, and I think in this case it was the writing. It was just really weird writing of Ivanova and her reactions. Didn't get that, and in fact, it's really made it a weird episode for me for that reason. It was an interesting episode, and I'm wondering if it's the start of something. So it might be an important episode, but not sure. I can't remember. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below about this one. Yeah, interesting to know what people think about it. See you in the next one. Be seeing you.